So let us continue with our lesson, and today we'll go and see about the retrofit, our networking library for our Android, and it's very popular among the Android developers. So it's a very useful networking libraries that we have to make use whenever we want to perform some of the networking requests, and it's really useful and it's quite popular among the. And if you talk to any of the networking or any of the Android developers, they will first recommend retrofit for all of your networking. And you can see it's a type safe HTTP client for Android and Java. So we'll make use of a retrofit over here to perform all of our networking requests. And it's really useful. So if you go down, we have a lot of things that we can, like request method and URL manipulation, right? And request body. So we have a lot of things we can do with the retrofit over here. To make use of the retrofit, we have to add a dependency. So let's first go and add a dependency. So if you go down, there should be option to add a dependency, and we have to download a jar file, or we can also make use of a Maven or a Gradle. So we are currently using the Gradle build, so we will make use of this implementation and just copy this one. And what we'll do is we will go and add this one to our Android Studio. Just open your project and let's go to the Gradle build over here. And below this, let's just paste it. And instead of the insert latest version, so we need to find the latest version. Let's go back to the retrofit over here. And to get the latest version, we can just go to the GitHub, just click on this one and it should take you to the GitHub project over here. And you can see we have a retrofit and download the latest Java version, or you can see we have a latest version of 2.7.1. You can just copy this one and we can go back to our project over here and insert it over here. Now if you remember that in the previous when we were just getting started with our project, we have set all of the requirement over here. So we will be setting up the same thing for our retrofit. So what we'll do is I will just copy this retrofit over to here and space it below over here, and what I will call it this one as equals to, and for the retrofit I'll just keep a retrofit version. Okay, so we have created it, and let's go back to our the module or app Gradle build, and over here we will have to paste that one, so $sign and the retrofit version. And when we are using this one, we have to make use of double quote. The single quote doesn't work here. So whenever we are using a version code with this format, so we have to make use of double quote. And we have added the retrofit version over here. Now we have added a dependency, and the next step is to we need to add a converter. So if we go over here, you can see that a converter system. By default, a retrofit can only deserialize the HTTP bodies into OK HTTP response body type, and it can only accept the request body type. But whenever we are working, when we created our API, if you remember, we were sending a JSON request or a response to whatever the user is requesting. We are sending back the JSON. So we have a JSON converter over here. You can see we have to make use of this one too. So we need to add the dependency for this JSON too. So if you see over here, here is an example how they have created our retrofit, and where they have utilized a JSON converter. So JSON converter they are using. So we have to make use of the JSON converter, or else it will by default use a just a deserialized with the HTTP or OK HTTP response body. So but we are transferring the data in a JSON format from our API. If you remember, then we should make use of this. So what we will do is what I will do is let's go back to our project and let's copy this one whole thing and just paste it below this one. And here we should change back to our, let's go back to our retrofit, and in the here you can, if you want to make use of JSON converter, we have to copy this one. So just copy this one and just go back to your project over here, and instead of retrofit we will add the retrofit. Sorry, we have to replace the whole thing. So just replace the whole thing over here, and we just added the converter to JSON, and the version should be same, and just synchronize that one and it should work perfectly. And if you see, it's going to download some of the required dependency. So we have added the dependency and we have some error. I think what's the error? Let's try to check up. We have affected module. Let's go to here. We have some error. Let's try to fix out. Maybe we did something wrong over here. Retrofit version, and let's try to fix this. So come that square up. So fail to resolve. So fail to resolve is over here, and that should be where it is failing. So come that square up retrofit 2 and converter. I think that should be fine. And if you go back and check over here, let's try to check it out. And we have added come that square that retrofit, and I think we made it some come that. I think that should be fine. So why it's not trying to build up? We have some error. Let's try to check the gradle build, and it's showing that the fail to resolve the com dot square up. Fail to resolve com dot square up. Why it's trying to say it? Okay, so let's try to fix this one. Okay, so I think that's because of the space over here. So we should not have a space over here. So just remove the space and let's try to synchronize again. I think that should work fine. Okay, so that's working fine, and we have successfully added our dependency for our retrofit and also for a converter as a JSON. So we will be using JSON converter to convert all of our response that we are getting from our API. So that's all for this lesson. We have successfully added our retrofit networking library, and on the next lecture we will go and build up our networking with a retrofit. So let's meet up in our next lecture. Till then, have a great day.